What will you do if being asked to carry out a task you haven't been trained for? Tell us a time you delivered exceptional care. How do you demonstrate respect and dignity? Okay, what will you do if you are asked to carry out a task you have not been trained for? What to do is to be honest, politely decline that. For example, you come to work in the morning, you are just a new staff, you've not been inducted, they've not shadowed you, nobody have shown you around, and a senior staff came in and said, please can you hoist resident in room 1? I want to attend to somebody else. Meanwhile, you've never hoisted somebody before. In fact, you've never seen a hoist. Okay, maybe where you came from, what you used to transfer resident might be different. It is a different setting altogether, and you were asked to do so. What do you do? Oh, I'm sorry, I have not been trained on how to use hoist. I am so sorry, I have no idea on how to do it. Please, I will appreciate if you can show me how to do it. I promise I will learn it so fast, and please, I will appreciate if you can show me how to do it. I've never done it before. I'm so sorry. It is as easy as that. So you go for an interview and they ask you, oh, can you tell us what you would do if you were asked to carry out a task you have not been trained to do? Okay, what I will do is that I will be honest enough and polite enough to decline to do that because I have not been trained. I might do it and I will get into trouble. I might injure myself or injure the resident. So what I would do is to politely decline doing that, and I will have to let them know that I have not been trained to do it, and I will be happy and appreciate if they can show me how to do it. If they can do it while I learn how to do it and have confidence to do so, then certified to do that, then I can carry on. That is what I would do. Am I making sense to you? That is the practical thing to do. Okay? The next question says, tell us a time you delivered exceptional care. What is exceptional care? Exceptional care is just where you go above and beyond your role as a healthcare assistant. What are your roles as a healthcare assistant? To offer personal care, to offer support, emotional support, support of any kind within the law, to engage the resident in activities, take them to hospital appointments, whatever your roles are. Now, I'll tell us about a time you delivered exceptional care. Now, they are asking to know when you have gone above and beyond your job role. When have you done that? So, in these things, we meet them sometimes on a daily basis at work. Sometimes they come, few times. So for you to answer this question, you might likely need to tell them a little story, by saying something like, using my experience, I would say, okay, a time I have provided exceptional care to a resident was a time in my previous place of work. I had one of our residents who was newly admitted. They were not settled, they were not comfortable. They kept on asking about their child. Every minute they're asking about their child, and they are asking where they are. So what I do was to take out my time to engage this resident, always have a chat with her. Once I'm a bit free, I go to this resident and I sit with her, chat with her, try to know her better, get to know more about her. And I get permission from the manager to call the daughter so she can always speak to the daughter whenever she wants. That helped to make her settle. It helped to make her settle. Now, you might think what I just did is not exceptional, but I tell you, the way and the manner we are busy during the day in the care home. You might even find it difficult to sit down with residents and chat with them. It will be from one duty to other, from one this to other. Before you know it, you go for your break, you come back, you continue. No time to sit down and chat with them. We hardly have that time. So if I can bring out my time, maybe during my break time, to have a chat with this resident, trying to get to know them better, going all the way to get to the manager, maybe to get a cell phone or tablet for them to speak with their family, or even video call. I video call the child so she can see the child and talk with her. I also had this experience where I had one of our residents who recently lost the son. She will always ask, where is my son? Where is my son? Whereas the son is no more. Okay, so, and I have took out my time due to constant engaging with her to find out that if I remind her that her son had passed on, she will not break down. She's the type of person that can be able to manage it. So whenever she comes up with that question, I took out my time to go sit down with her and start reminding her that, oh, listen, your son had passed on. You were there when your son passed on. After that, she will be sober, she will be emotional a little, but I try to engage her. I try to talk her out of it, and I will offer her what she likes, maybe a cup of tea or coffee. It depends on what she likes at that moment. I will offer it to her, and she's better. She feels happy. So you just have to tell them little story of, okay, let's say you've not worked in the care home before. It was your mom or your dad, your grandparents you looked after. Yes, there must be a time you went above and beyond to help them. It could be that your mom is the type that always crying, always they are not happy because they are sick. They find out they can no longer do what they are doing before. You want to give them personal care, they are not happy. They don't want to do nothing. So what do you do to salvage this situation? What did you do? You think that thing you did was exceptional, but why? Because she don't like to accept it, but you did something that made her calm down to accept that care. Am I making sense? Good. The next one, how do you demonstrate respect and dignity? When we talk about respect and dignity, it's just all about for example, there was a time I talked about safeguarding in practical terms. When you talk about demonstrating respect and dignity, it all involves how you care for this resident, how you speak to them, how you see them, how you respect their privacies. Okay, how do you demonstrate it? Number one, I make sure I communicate with them in a very clear, concise manner, in a way they will understand. I listen to them attentively. Whenever I want to offer them any care, I make sure that if I'm supposed to shut the doors or the windows or the blind, I make sure I shut them so nobody else will see their nakedness. I treat them equally, no matter how, even some of them, no matter where you come from, equal treatment, equality. I treat them the same. I don't say good morning to this one, and I won't say good morning to the other one. Equal treatment. If they need to have a cup of tea, I don't give one cup of tea and give the other one a squash, except if they want squash. Equal treatment. I have compassion while caring for them. I'm also empathetic. I put myself in their shoes. I understand and feel what they feel as well while caring for them. It helps me to care for them better. So when you talk about respect and dignity, it's just how in my language we call it nkwanye ugwu. What they're asking you is, if that will help you to understand it better. Alright? So I think I will, from henceforth, I will begin to, when I finish everything in English language, I think I will be having the Igbo version of it. What do you guys think? So that it will help you to understand it better. Because sometimes this English can be, you be like, what is this one? No, it's what you know. This is something you are very much familiar with. So I think I'm going to start including it. Yeah? So this is what it means.